Hello everyone. I hope you are doing good and doing great. So based on our previous video there, we done our BDD with the environment setup and with some of the simplest example. So that will give the overview like how the BDD work and all. So I got some comments onto the video like they are more interested onto the one or more video there they can check the BDD with the some example that is aligned with the project. So in this video I am trying to cover that thing, and here I know that like people are more interested like how they are going to open the any of the URL onto the website or the website URL onto the browser, and how they are identifying the elements, and what is the role of the WebDriver, what is the web elements. So and after that when everything or when the our things are or our scenario is successfully executed, so how to close the browser. So many query come into the mind. So I will try to cover all the things into this video, and if still you have any of the doubt, you just let me know into the comment section area, so I will try to make the another video so there I will provide the more detailed information. So let's start our session today. So in this session I already mentioned like we will start the things that is the project base. So what we are going to cover here, the first thing is we will going to create one dummy project as a website. So we can suppose like this is the website that end user going to be used. After that we have the identifying the possible scenario, like what will be the possible scenario. So there is the n number of possible scenario while looking out the website, but we can identifying the small scenario. So we will get the details and how we can correlate with the simple example. The next thing is BDD framework along with the Selenium. So here we are going to use the Selenium along with the BDD. And apart from that there is a some of the package is required, like some package which I already mentioned in the previous video. So similarly there in this BDD along with the Selenium also required some of the package. So this package we need to install very carefully, because if we install any of the mismatch version of the package, so it will create the so much problem, or so much time we need to devote to for identifying the actual issue. Other thing is the automation of identified scenario. Yeah, so whatever the scenario which we are going to write into the layman language, so that we are going to automate, so that if in future like if any of the changes are coming onto the UI, so we just run the things or run the automated scenario, and this automated scenario let us know like is there any break onto the UI or the expectation wise. After that there's a different way of identifying element. So in this small example I try to make the things like there we can identifying the element in different way, or the different approach also. So let see that one also. Okay, so now dependent package of Selenium. So I will put the screenshot here, like that is responsible for the Selenium setup along with the BDD. So if you see from the downside, one package is the WebDriver Manager. So this WebDriver Manager, what it is doing like what we are doing during the automation, Selenium automation, we are downloading the any of the driver, like any of the driver like related to the Chrome or the Firefox or any other browser. So after that we are giving the path, and that driver will be open, and through that one we are executing our scenario. So WebDriver Manager is actually providing the things to us, like for this one we no need to download any of the driver. So it will taken care automatically by this package, so that's why I use this one. After that there is a Selenium WebDriver. So this Selenium WebDriver is basically help us to identifying the like every website will run under this WebDriver, and after that we there is some classes that we are going to use to identifying the element inside that one. After that, there's a two more package like that is belong to the each other, like .NET Selenium Extra dot page object, and another one is page object dot core. So this one is a little bit good way to write the or identifying the object or the page object. So I will let you know this one also, and the other way also, like both the way I will try to cover, like how to identifying the elements in the two different way. So there I will tell you the simplest way to write the code and all. So this for that one we are going to use these two packages. But yeah, for this one you can download the things based on this one, and the other non highlighted area which I already covered into the our previous video. So you can take a look there, and you can check like why we are adding this as a dependency package. Okay, now coming on to the practical web application. So here we will create the small application. I'm not going to create any of the like complex things. I'm just taking the example of whatever the default website provided by the Visual Studio. So in this, what is the actually inside this website? So in this website, you can see there is a two page name is the home page and the privacy page. So we will identifying the element from these pages and do the things. After that, there's a BDD setup. So in this BDD setup, what we are doing, we are trying to use some simplest approach. So you can see there first what we in the BDD approach, what we are doing. So we are just writing our feature file first. Like you can see also we have always the feature file with the extension dot feature. So we have the feature file, and that feature file we are written in the home dot feature and the privacy dot feature. So in this home dot feature, we are trying to cover possible scenario of home page into this home feature. And apart from that privacy dot feature, like whatever the scenario we can identify onto the privacy page, so we can write into the privacy dot feature. So here you can see this is the clear segregation between the page wise we are creating the feature file. So it's easy to identifying, like if any of the new team member or any of the KTs we are going to give to the another team or the another team member, so they can also correlate the things, like how the things are going on. Coming on to this one, you can see there is a step implementation. So whatever the layman term we are written into the feature file, so corresponding that we are going to write our implementation step. So for the implementation, we have the home .cs file, and similarly there is a privacy .cs file. And after that there is a mediator. So this mediator is the main things here that will interact between the step file, whatever the step file is, and whatever the page object there. So this will in this mediator we are going to write our complex logic and all. So that's why I use this mediator here. After that there is the again we have the page object. So in this page object we have the home po.cs. You can correlate like home po means page object .cs file, and similarly there is a privacy po.cs. So in the po.cs, what we are going to write is we are identifying all the iWeb element of the website. And here you can see iWeb element we are identifying here, and we are going to call that or the access that text or the labels everything into this mediator. And the mediator, whatever the method as a public method we are expose, so that we are directly use into the home.cs as a step file. So step file, I hope you remember, like whenever we are writing any of the line, like when a user log when user open only of the website through this URL, so when we are pressing F12 onto that particular line, so there is a step is created, and that step we are putting into the home.cs file. And inside that one we are calling our mediator method, so that will actually calling the or identifying the things from the page object. Yeah, so you can see the complete uh, structure, this one how it is will going on. So here you can see page object is basically interact with this website. So in this website we have the id, class name, xpath, uh, you can say. So by this we are identifying our web element. So here, and after that web element we are going to access into the mediator, and mediator into the step implementation, and based on our feature file. And web page have the two page, home page and the privacy. Yeah. Now we can switch to the Visual Studio. Let's try to create one website. So here you can see we have Visual Studio. Here we will create one project. So the project is the web based project. So here is we selected the ASP.NET Core web application. Click on next. After that we can give any of the name here. So I'm not going to create this one because I'm just showing you like how to create the dummy application and all, because Visual Studio is already giving the default template. So after that we are using the web application. You can select the web application here and create. So when you are doing the create, so the default it taking little bit time and create the default structure to us. So you can see it there is there. When I run this one, so it will run on to particular one of the port. So let's wait for some time, or in the meanwhile I will show you what is this. So if you go to I think yeah, let's wait for some. Yeah, it's run onto the port 44391, and this is a plain things. Like in the web application there is a home and the privacy. So I just close this one and close this website also, because I already created for the like demo purpose. So if you see here we have this application into the layout. I just change this my first application, and this first application I put the id. So you can put the id similar to this one. So you can use any of the pattern based on your company needs and the company policy. So here for the demo purpose I am using the id underscore, and after that what is the id belong to for this one. And after that similarly there is the home and privacy. There is the two menu item onto the ui. So you can see id underscore menu home, menu privacy. Yeah. And here I'm not using any of the id, because we are trying to cover every possible way to access any of the element. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to run this one first. So you can see now our header is the my first application. There is a two menu, home and the privacy. Okay, and at the bottom you can see there is a one some information also, 2021 web application hyphen privacy. Okay, now jump on to the code wise. Okay, so let's identifying some scenario first. So here you can see by default we are onto the home page. So in the home page, what will be the possible scenario? The first scenario should be we need to open the this website through this URL, and after that we need to check like our application header is my first application or not. So what I did is if you see the structure also, so let's go through first on the structure side. So in the feature file you can see in the previous video we have the same structure. Now into the this current video what I enhance here is I added one more feature file with the name of the home.feature file, and I click onto this one. So you can see this one is a home feature file, and here I put it the tag home underscore page, and I written the scenario outline. because we have the time crunch here, so I don't want to take much time here, so that's why I already written one scenario. So what this scenario is, the scenario name is the check website open. So we are checking like our website is open and running properly or not. So here what we given the step is given open the URL. So URL is dynamic here on Chrome browser, so we specify is the Chrome browser, you can specify any of the other browser also. And after that check application name as application name. We saw like our application name is my first application. I will show you my first application. You can, yeah, we'll come on to that part later. Yeah. After that, we have the page object. Sorry, we have the steps. So what we need to do is first we need to select or put the cursor onto this line and press the F12. We already have the step along with that one, so that's why it's directly jump here, otherwise it will be not come here. And similarly you can see we are telling like it should be bind with the scope of the feature file name is the home, so that's why it is indicating this one. So here we are using these two attribute, that is a before scenario. So before scenario what we are going to do, before scenario we are saying like need to create the instance of this mediator class, because in the mediator we are actually calling our methods. And after that there's after scenario. So after scenario, like whenever my scenario is done, so please close the browser. So I will tell you more onto this one. And here you can see open the URL, and in the we are getting the URL dynamic, and the mediator is taking the more responsibility here to what is actually doing. So yeah, these are the step file which I already mentioned to the diagram. So coming on to this page object, so because this page object is actually interacting with the our website, so for this one we need the iWebDriver. So iWebDriver is basically it creating the instance onto that our application is actually running. So here you can see on top, uh, yeah, this one, web driver manager dot drive config dot impl. So what it is doing is, here I have the instance method. What I am doing is the Chrome driver, we are checking the instance is not null. If it is null, then it will come here. And this one is the main line because of this web driver manager. When you are using the web driver manager, so you need to use this way, web driver, and there is a Chrome config, because we are interested for the Chrome here. So we are use this Chrome configuration. And after that we are creating the instance, and that instance always the Chrome driver instance is called as a web driver. And here is the this method, Chrome driver dot navigate, go to URL, and there is a URL. And here I put it this line because by default when you are running any of the browser, then browser into the small like in the half it's always be open. So we need to maximize this one, because sometime our application is uh, like more like big screen is required, because sometime in the small screen the object is not visible, so in that case we can face the problem. So better for the good practice, you always open your things or the window into the maximize mode. So that's why I put it this one. And after that this one is a page factory. I will let you know what is the actual use of this one, so I will come on to this page factory later. Yeah. Now we have this method get header, because we are interested to get this header web application header. So for this one what we need to do is we need to just right click here, inspect here, and you can see we are providing the ID for this, an ID underscore application header. And under this one, this is the complete text. So what we need to do is we need to need to use the web like first WebDriver. So because this application is going to be open under that WebDriver, and under that WebDriver will provide the iWeb element. So that from that iWeb element we can identifying the things. So now you can see here, I just, yeah, now you can see Chrome driver dot find element. You can use there's another method also, find elements and all, manage, so many things are there, but yeah, so there's a 4 or 5 type of method we are frequently using this one, so we are not going to use apart from that one. So find element, now we are identifying this element by the id, so that's why we are putting by dot id. So there's a other way also, by dot XPath, tag name, name, link text, CSS selector, class name. So this way also we can identifying this one. But right now we are identifying that element with the ID. We'll cover this CSS selector and the class name later point. So here you can see we pass this ID, whatever we identifying this one. So this will find element always return to the iWeb element. So in the iWeb element there is so many properties. So one of the property is the text. So in the text you we can identifying the text. Sometime we are getting some extra space and all, so better we can use the trim here, so it will remove the space from the beginning or the end of the string. So now we identifying this one, and after that you can see the close. So the close what we are doing, because it Chrome driver, because it open this instance of this web driver Chrome, this instance. So what we are checking if it is null, then return this one, and if it is not null, then do one thing, do close this one, quit this one, and assign the null back. So this one is the code for the close the browser. Okay, now in this PO, the PO what we did is we just identifying our object or from the website based on the ID, class and all. So this get header, so this get header is actually used by our mediator. So in the mediator we can see here, sorry, here in the mediator I just added the home mediator. So in the home mediator you can see we created the, so yeah, so I created the instance of this PO object, because this one is the plain class as a public, so I created the instance of this one. So I, this one I not used anywhere. Yeah, so okay, fine. So right now this M driver I not use, but yeah, for maybe it is used later point, you know. So that's why I put it there, the instance of this iWeb driver. Okay, so here what we are doing, so we are first one method that open browser. So in this open browser we require one URL that we need to open onto the Chrome. So this URL we are going to pass through our step file. So after that we have the home po dot instance. So you can use the different name also, but I put it the instance here, and this instance taking the URL and opening this URL onto the Chrome and return the iWeb element. So right now I'm not using this one, so for the demo purpose, so that's why it's no use here. So now it this method is actually open the browser. Coming on to this one, close. So when our execution is done or our scenario is done, we need to close this one. So we have the close method into the our PO. That is a static type, so that's why I'm not use the instance here. So here we are checking the application header. So application header is taking the one application header as a string. So here we, whatever the method we return get header, you can see we are identifying through the ID and checking this thing. So we are getting onto the header here, and after that we are asserting here. So assertion part we are giving the responsibility to the mediator. So mediator will take care of this thing. So if assertion is failed, so it will be fail here. So after that we are jump to our feature file step. So if I'm going here, now I hope you understood like what I done. So we have the now the home mediator. So we created the home mediator instance at initialize level before scenario, and after scenario we are just closing this browser. And here you can see we written one method open browser that is required one URL, and similarly there is one more method that is actually checking the application header based on the step, so you can correlate this one. So now we what we can do is we just right click onto this one and run. We'll see it is pass or fail. So first we are expecting it will open the URL on the browser. We'll see this one. Yeah, it's open this one. Now you can see it's a very fast here, so that's why it's coming into the millisecond something. So you can see the status here, it is pass here, and it took 4.5 second only. So this way we can identifying the things. Now coming on to the other thing, like which I mentioned you, like why I use this page factory dot init element chrome driver dot this. So the objective here is like there's a this way, this is the one way to use the to identifying any of the iweb element, and after that to extract the information from that iweb element. So the other way here is if I expand this one, so you can see I'm using the other way also, this highlighted code. So here whatever I written inside here, so find element and all, it returning the iweb element. So the same thing I did it find by how is how means like how we are identifying this one. So there is also the same case like dot, you can see xpath tag name, id, link tags, custom, css selector, class name. So here I did this one for the id using this id, the same id you can see, because the written way is little bit different, but the end result is the same for the both way. And after that you can see we are getting iweb element, and here what did is I just use this iweb element dot text dot trim. Now what I am going to use, I'm just using this property here directly, because we are not going to manipulate this one, so that's why it's a get type. So what we need to do is we need to go to our mediator, and in this mediator I just remove this line and put it here, this one. So you can see if I click onto the F12 onto this line, so it basically going to this one. So we are expecting it should be the same result, means it should be pass. So let's wait for another. Yeah, you can see it's again pass. So now we have the two way to writing this one. So based on our needs or based on our things, or based on discussion with the project manager or the architect, we can use the things, or we can also suggest the things. So I hope now you are aware like why we are using the page factory and all. So for this one this package is more responsible, using selenium extra dot page object, so you can identify it's a po, is a page object. And yeah, so coming on to the another one, another scenario. So what we can do is if I'm going here, so the another scenario what we can write is we are successfully open this url and check the header like my application is up and running. Now onto the home page, what another possible scenario, it may be n number of possible scenario, but here I will try to cover another one more scenario. There I am just checking in the middle, this welcome should be visible, and after that we should check the below bottom also, like it will contain this 2021 web application and all. And after that I am going to click onto this privacy and check like it is happening or not. So for the time being I already written one scenario. So if I go to our things feature file, yeah, so here my scenario name is check home page content. So in the home page content, what is our condition given is open the URL this on Chrome browser, whatever the written onto the above scenario, and similarly then check application name as this one. So this one is the same which we already done this thing. After that we have the and to menu should be visible on UI. And after that content, what is the content? So the content is the dynamic here. So the content means welcome should be in the top middle portion, and bottom having bottom value. What will be the bottom value? At the rate 2021 hyphen web application space hyphen as a value. When user click menu, then user redirect to the dash page. The this page is privacy page. I hope this one is straightforward. There we are not doing any of the big thing and all. So simply we are checking the content. So for this one, what we need to, because this one is already covered into the above scenario. So we no need to write any of the new code there, because we can reuse the things, because I already mentioned this thing into the previous video for the reusable of the code. And after that, this the next line, if I'm pressing on the F12, because I already written corresponding things for this one. So coming on to this PO, because PO is actually interacting with our web application. So here, yeah, the first thing is this menu list. So for this one, we know that onto the application there is a two menu, home and the privacy. So in the home and privacy, one way is like into the scenario which I mentioned is sometime we are passing with the comma separated. So this one is the one way. We can I can provide this one is separately also, but I try to cover into the one scenario all possible way to uh, assert the things. So here I passing the things with the comma separated. And here you can see, here I am using the CSS selector. So how CSS selector I'm getting this value? So for this one, what you need to do is first you need to go to your application, and after that you need to inspect this one. After inspect, so this one is the Li. You need to come to UL. So here you can see you both are highlighting here, because we are interested for the both the value. So what we need to do is we just right click here, copy selector. So copy selector means is a CSS selector. So just click onto this one, it's copy in your memory. Now you can check the value here, control V also. So you can see body, header, nav, div and UL. So same thing I written here, and here I just passing how we are identifying this one with the CSS selector, and this one is the value. So after this one we are getting the iWeb element here. So if I'm going to our home mediator, because this mediator is going to use this one. So this one is the responsible method to check the menu onto the UI. So here, yeah, here you can see we are passing through our feature file with the value comma separated. Now we are converting into split this with the comma, and checking into the string array. And what we are doing, we are just looping onto this one, and you can see here we already have the this variable which containing the X path or CSS selector. And under the CSS selector, we know that if we take a deeper look here, go to here, we are up to this path UL, and under this one there is a 2 Li, and I expand this Li. There is in the Li there is a home, and the second Li having the privacy. So similarly, if you see here, what I did is I again find this element. You can write this find element into your mediator, because mediator will take your complex things always. because I can do these things into the PO level also, but PO class level also, but like sometime we have the some requirement there, we need to write some complex logic and all. So that responsibility we again can give to the mediator. So in the home mediator, what I did is I just using this by tag name. You can see previously we used by the ID, but now we don't have the ID, we have the tag name. So the tag name is the li. So you will get two li. So that's why we are using this I list here. And I list, we know that we can iterate onto that list, because that is the enumerable type of list. So you can see I put it the thread dot sleep intentionally, because it is very fast, so we can't see what is going on to the UI. So that's why I intentionally put some weight here. So after that, what I am doing is if it is match here, like the actual value match here, then this flag will be true, otherwise it will be false by default. And here, before coming out of this loop, after coming out from this loop, we are checking what is the flag value. So if flag value is false, then we are marking this as a fail scenario. Okay, so now the next step is content should be in top of the middle portion. So again, we need to check the content. To check the content, what we need to do is we are using the XPath. So you can see we have the third way to identifying the element. So for this one, how to identifying the XPath? So first you need to inspect this one. So you are here now. So just right click, go to copy and copy XPath. So and you can try to paste it here. Control V, at the rate ID. So yeah, this is, yeah, you can see full XPath also. And similarly, there is a XPath also. You can see XPath will be look like this one, and full XPath will be look like this one. So here I'm using the XPath. So there's a no difference between the XPath and the full path, because based on your need, you can use this one. So I use the full XPath here. So after that, what I need to do is you need to go to the mediator, and here, because we are getting the web element here, I web element, and there is a inside property text, so I use this text and equate this one. Similarly, the next line we have this one, check the bottom value. So in the bottom, we need to check like we are able to see this information or not. 2021 web application hyphen privacy. So here I'm not checking the complete things. I'm just checking the partial thing, because sometimes maybe the requirement we are not interested to the complete equality or assert. So for this one, I just use this one. Here, if I'm go to this PO object, so in the PO, I'm again using the XPath. So the same way we are identifying this one. And if I'm going here, you can see we are getting in the XPath with the complete information. Like complete information means this one up to this one, and we are checking only in our example this portion. So we are using the contain property. So this one is the another way to identifying this one. And now we are not asserting this one, we are just using assert dot is true. Similarly, there is the next line is when user click on one of the item. So if you click here, you can see click button, and the click button here we identifying with the ID. You can see we have the two ID. So we use this one. And here you can see I'm not writing the specific code for this one, because this one we can utilize this thing, because the click or sometime identifying some of the element, we can write some common method. So this type of method will go into the utility type of class. So there's all the common method will come, and we can use such type of method all over the project level. And yeah, so right now I put it this one, but yeah, you, for the best practice, you can keep it a separate class, that is a utility class there, or the common class there we can take the reference and use the things. And here the things you can see is the dynamic. Here we writing our switch case, like if it is the privacy, then click onto the privacy and third dot sleep for the some millisecond. So I intentionally put it this one because otherwise we can't see the what going on to the UI. So similarly there is a home. So home, I just click onto this one. So this one, and the next step is user redirect to the click page. So means the home, this privacy page. So you can see it's a privacy page here you will get. So here it's your homework. You can check like what things you can improve here. You can do it at your level for the best practice, because sometime we are looking out the example. So you will see like it's very straightforward, there's a no much more difficulty and all. But when you are actually going for the implementation and resolving some of the problem, then you will be aware like yes, it is not so straightforward. So like you know that practice makes man perfect, so you need to apply these thoughts and try to do at least once as a practical way. I hope you understood this one. So yeah, coming on to this topic again, we just rebuild this one. We'll see it's be increased here or not. So we are expecting one scenario should be added under this one. Yeah, you can see it is reflecting here. So now what we can do is we just right click here and run. So let's wait for some minute. Yeah, now you can see it's a maximize now. It is just checking the things because we put it the intentionally some time, or you can see we can direct to the privacy, and some lag is there because of the thread dot slip. And now you can see it is successfully done. You can see the green tick mark here in the highlighted portion, and you can see there is a extra browser web driver open this one extra browser. So now it after the our scenario is done, so it is automatically closed. So the same way we are also writing into our things into the company level also. And like there we can apply some of the uh, like pattern and all, and some structure way we can write the things. So but this is the basic way, like if you are aware onto this basic stuff and all, so you can easily jump on any of the framework and all. So it's easy to read and easy to write the things. But yeah, it this type of practice is totally depend on company to company. So like but the basic things always be the same, whatever we discussed just now. So I hope you enjoy this session, and we'll see in another video. If you have any of the feedback, comment, or any of the concern, you just let me know. I will try to make the things on that topic and try to resolve the problem. So it's a good for me also, because I'm also learning based on your query and all, because I'm also doing some R&D at my hand also. So it's a good way to learn the things and give the information to others. Thank you so much, thank you for listening this one, and yeah, thanks again, bye.